The ship Harmony floated through space like a small white bird among giants. Around it, massive alien vessels formed a circle, their hulls glowing with strange lights and energy fields. Inside the Harmony's bridge, Captain So-Young Park watched the alien ships through her view screen with calm eyes. "They really think we're just helpless little humans," said Lieutenant Commander Min-Soo Choi from his station. He was reading the alien radio messages. "They're calling us the new pets in their private channels." Captain Park smiled but said nothing. She touched a small button on her chair that would send a secret message back to Earth. "Admiral Jin Ho, Lee would want to know that everything was going as planned. Ambassador." Hyun-Woo Kim stood in the ship's main meeting room, checking his formal clothes one last time. He had been chosen to speak for all of humanity today. The aliens thought they were meeting with a weak species that just learned how to travel between stars. They had no idea what was really coming. Dr. Yoon-Jung Yang walked into the room carrying a small device. "The translator is ready," she said. "Remember, act surprised when they make their demands. Act scared when they threaten us." Hyun-Woo nodded. "How long do we need to keep this up?" "Admiral Lee says 3 more days," Yang replied. "Our ships need that much time to get into position." On the bridge, Engineer Taemin Kang was pretending to fix a broken panel. Really, he was scanning the alien ships with hidden sensors. "Captain," he said quietly, "their shields are weak against solid objects moving fast. Their weapons are all energy-based. No bullets, no missiles." Captain Park nodded. That was useful information. The aliens had been fighting each other for thousands of years with energy weapons. They probably never faced anything like human weapons. The main view screen changed to show an alien face. It looked like a walking crystal with too many arms. This was High Arbitrator Velnesh of the Veltari species. Behind the crystal being, Park could see other aliens, some that looked like floating gas clouds and others that were half-machine. "Humans," the alien said, its voice sounding like breaking glass. "You will come aboard our council ship now. Do not bring weapons. Do not bring recording devices. You will listen to our offer." Ambassador Kim stepped forward. "We thank the Great Galactic Coalition for this chance to join your peaceful alliance," he said, making his voice sound excited and hopeful. Captain Park had to stop herself from laughing. Peaceful alliance. The aliens had destroyed 12 other species that tried to join them. The humans knew this because they had been watching and listening for 50 years before making contact. The Harmony's shuttle bay opened, and Ambassador Kim flew across to the alien council ship with Dr. Yang and 2 guards. The guards were really Special Forces soldiers, but they were dressed as simple security men. On the alien ship, Kim was led through long halls that smelled like burnt metal and rotting flowers. The aliens wanted humans to feel small and afraid. The council chamber was huge, with the alien leaders sitting on high platforms looking down at the small human group. War leader Gorthak of the Morden spoke first. He looked like a giant slug made of gas and slime. "Little humans," he said with a voice like thunder. "You want to join the galaxy's great powers. This requires payment." High Arbitrator Velnesh's crystal body flashed with lights. "Your species must prove it can follow orders. You will give us 70% of your worlds. You will send us half of everything you make. You will allow our ships to watch over your remaining people." Dr. Yang pretended to look shocked. Ambassador Kim acted like he was trying to be brave but was really scared. "These terms seem very hard," he said. "Can we discuss them?" The 3rd alien leader was called Prime Node 7 of the Nexari. It was a robot with organic parts stuck to it. "There is no discussion," it said in a cold computer voice. "Accept or be destroyed. Many species have chosen destruction. We use their worlds now." Back on the Harmony, Captain Park was getting reports from her crew. Lieutenant Commander Choi had broken into more alien communication channels. "Captain, they're planning to attack our colonies tomorrow," he said. "This whole peace meeting is just to keep us busy while their war fleets move." "How many ships?" Park asked. "Over 1,000. They think that's enough to conquer all of human space." Captain Park almost felt sorry for the aliens. They had no idea that humans had been preparing for this war for decades. Every human colony had hidden weapons. Every research station was really a military base. Every merchant ship could turn into a warship. "Send another message to Admiral Lee," Park ordered. "Tell him the aliens are sticking to the plan. War starts tomorrow." In the alien council chamber, Ambassador Kim was doing his job perfectly. He looked upset and confused. "Please, great leaders, surely we can find a way for humans to join your coalition without giving up so much." War leader Gorthak made a sound like laughing gas. Humans taste good when cooked slowly, he said. If you refuse our generous offer, we will eat your leaders and make slaves of the rest. Dr. Yang recorded everything with a hidden device. The people of Earth would want to see this when the war started. High Arbitrator Velnesh stood up, its crystal body now glowing bright red. You have 1 day to accept. Tomorrow at this time, give us your answer. Choose slavery or death. Ambassador Kim bowed low. We will consider your most generous offer, he said. Inside, he was thinking about how these aliens would look when human warships appeared. The humans returned to the Harmony. As soon as they were back on their ship, Dr. Yang started laughing. Did you see their faces when I acted scared? They really think we're helpless. Engineer Kang had finished his scans. Captain, I've got complete data on their ships. Their armor is strong against energy weapons but thin against physical impacts. Their engines are slow. Their sensors can't detect our stealth technology. Captain Park sat in her command chair and looked at the alien ships surrounding them. Tomorrow those ships would learn what human engineering could do. All stations prepare for tomorrow's performance, she ordered. Make sure we look surprised when their friends show up to attack us. The Harmony continued to drift among the alien giants, looking small and helpless. None of the aliens noticed the tiny changes happening to the human ship. Panels were sliding slightly, revealing hidden sensors. Weapon ports were opening just a crack. The peaceful diplomatic vessel was slowly becoming something else. Light years away, Admiral Jin-Ho Lee sat on the bridge of humanity's most powerful warship. Around him, 1,000 human vessels waited in the darkness between stars. Tomorrow the galaxy would learn that humans did not come in peace. They came with warships. The second day of peace talks began with the aliens acting even more rude than before. High Arbitrator Velnesh did not even look at Ambassador Kim when the humans entered the council chamber. War leader Gorthak was eating something that looked like raw meat and making loud chewing sounds. Have you decided to be smart and surrender? Prime Node 7 asked in its cold robot voice. Ambassador Kim sat down slowly, acting like a man carrying a heavy weight. The human government is still discussing your offer, he said. We need more time to understand what you're asking. Dr. Yang had her medical scanner hidden in her bag. She was studying the aliens while pretending to take notes. What she found was interesting. The Veltari crystal beings were actually quite fragile. The Morden gas slugs needed special breathing equipment. The Nixari robots had weak points where their organic parts connected to their metal bodies. War leader Gorthak finished eating and burped loudly. Time is running out, little humans, he said. My ships are already moving toward your worlds. Soon we will taste fresh human meat. Dr. Yang kept her face calm, but inside she was disgusted. These aliens talked about eating people like it was normal. Back on the Harmony, engineer Tai-Min Kang was working on what looked like a broken communication array. Really, he was installing new sensors that could see through alien stealth technology. What he found made him smile. Captain Park, he said quietly, the aliens have more ships than they told us about. I'm reading stealth vessels moving toward human space. Looks like they plan to attack our colonies while we're stuck here talking. Captain Park nodded. This was exactly what Admiral Lee had expected. How many ships total? About 1,500. But Captain, their stealth is really bad. Our sensors can see them easily. Strategist Hee-Jin Nam was at her station studying alien fleet movements. She had been a war planner for 20 years and knew how to read enemy intentions. They're moving in the old formation, she said. Same pattern they used to destroy the Kalari species 50 years ago. Lieutenant Commander Min-Soo Choi looked up from his communications panel. Captain, I'm getting coded messages from our scout ships. The alien fleets are exactly where Admiral Lee said they would be. Captain Park felt proud of human intelligence work. For 50 years, humans had been watching the galaxy from the shadows. They knew every alien trade route, every military base, every secret weapon. The aliens knew almost nothing about humanity. On the alien council ship, the talks continued. Ambassador Kim was doing a perfect job of looking worried and desperate. Great leaders, he said. Humans are a peaceful species. We've never fought a real war. Surely there's some way to avoid violence. High Arbitrator Velnesh's crystal body flashed with lights that meant anger in their species. Peace is for the strong, it said. Weak species like yours exist to serve. You will give us your worlds and your people, or we will take them. Dr. Yang spoke up, making her voice shake like she was afraid. What happens to humans who refuse to be slaves? War leader Gorthak made that terrible laughing sound again. We eat the fighters. We work the others to death. We use your worlds for our own people. This is how the galaxy works. Prime Node 7 added, 12 species learned this lesson before you. Their planets are now ours. Their people are gone. Only we remain. Ambassador Kim stood up suddenly, acting angry but helpless. You're monsters. How can the galaxy allow this? Because we are the strongest, Velnesh replied. Strength makes the rules. Dr. Yang was recording everything. When this was over, the galaxy would see what these great leaders really were. On the Harmony, Commander Sung Ho Bei was watching long-range sensors. He was seeing the alien war fleets getting closer to human space. Captain, they'll reach our outer colonies in 18 hours. Captain Park checked her secret orders from Admiral Lee. Perfect timing, she said. Signal the fleet. Begin Phase 2. Light years away, human ships that had been hiding in empty space for weeks suddenly came to life. Admiral Lee's flagship, the Indomitable, powered up its engines along with 500 other warships. They had been waiting in the dark between stars, invisible to alien sensors. Commander Yujin Song was on the bridge of the destroyer Swift Strike. She had been watching alien supply convoys for days, learning their patrol patterns. Admiral, she reported, all enemy logistics ships are exactly where our intelligence said they'd be. Admiral Lee smiled. The aliens thought they were so smart, but they followed the same patterns they had used for centuries. Humans had studied those patterns and knew exactly where every alien ship would be. Back in the council chamber, the aliens were getting impatient. War Leader Gorthak stood up, his gas cloud body swirling with angry colors. Enough talk. Give us your answer now. Ambassador Kim looked around the room like a trapped animal. I need to contact my government. No more delays. Velnesh shouted, its crystal voice ringing like breaking glass. Accept slavery or face destruction. Prime Node 7's robot eye glowed red. Our war fleets are already moving. In one day, every human world will burn. Dr. Yang gasped and covered her mouth with her hands, acting terrified. Inside, she was laughing. These aliens had no idea what was coming for them. On the Harmony, Captain Park received the message she had been waiting for. It was just 2 words from Admiral Lee. Weapons free. She stood up and walked to the center of the bridge. All hands, this is the captain, she announced over the ship's communication system. The peace talks have failed. The aliens have chosen war. Prepare to show them what human engineering can do. Engineer Kang stopped pretending his repair work was difficult. His fingers flew over the controls as he activated systems that had been hidden inside the ship's walls. Stealth mode disengaging, he reported. Weapons coming online. Shields at full power. The Harmony began to change. Panels slid away to reveal gun turrets. The plain white hull shifted to show armor plating. Hidden sensor arrays extended from the ship's sides. What had looked like a simple diplomatic vessel was becoming something very different. Lieutenant Commander Choi smiled as he opened communication channels to every human ship in the galaxy. All stations, this is Harmony Actual. The word is given. Repeat, the word is given. Strategist Nam pulled up battle plans on her screen. Captain, all human fleets report ready. The aliens are about to get a very unpleasant surprise. Captain Park sat back in her command chair and looked at the alien ships around them. Those ships thought they were surrounding a helpless prey. Soon they would learn they had trapped themselves with a predator. In the council chamber, Ambassador Kim was getting ready to deliver humanity's real answer. The aliens thought they were about to hear surrender. Instead, they were about to learn why humans had survived as a species for hundreds of thousands of years. The galaxy was about to change forever. Ambassador Kim stood in the alien council chamber and looked at each of the 3 alien leaders. High Arbitrator Velnesh's crystal body was glowing bright with impatience. War Leader Gorthak was dripping slime on the floor as his gas cloud body swirled angrily. Prime Node 7's robot eye was flashing red, demanding an answer. Well, Velnesh said, its voice like breaking glass. Have your people decided to be smart and surrender? Kim smiled for the first time since the talks began. It was not a friendly smile. Actually, he said, we have decided something important. We've decided that you made a big mistake. War Leader Gorthak laughed with that terrible sound. What mistake? We have 1,500 warships. You have nothing. That's the mistake, Kim said calmly. You think we have nothing. Dr. Yang pressed a button on her hidden device. Suddenly, every screen in the council chamber lit up with the same image. Admiral Jin-Ho Lee standing on the bridge of a massive human warship. Greetings. Alien leaders, Admiral Lee said, his voice calm and cold. I am Admiral Jin-Ho Lee of the Human Defense Fleet. I believe you've been threatening my people. Prime Node 7's mechanical head turned to stare at the screen. This is impossible. Our sensors show no human military ships. Admiral Lee smiled. It was not a nice smile. Your sensors are looking for energy signatures and metal hulls. Human ships are built differently. We've been watching you for 50 years. We know exactly where all your ships are. On the Harmony's bridge, Captain Park was no longer pretending to be helpless. Her ship had finished its transformation from diplomatic vessel to warship. Status report, she ordered. Engineer Kang looked up from his controls with a big grin. All weapons online, Captain. Shields at maximum. The aliens still think we're just a transport ship. Lieutenant Commander Choi was listening to alien communications. Captain, they're panicking. Their fleet commanders are asking what's happening. Show them, Captain Park ordered. The Harmony's stealth system shut down completely. Suddenly, the aliens could see what the ship really was. It was twice as big as they thought, covered in armor plating, and bristling with weapons they didn't recognize. But that was just the beginning. All around the alien council fleet, space began to shimmer. One by one, human warships appeared out of nowhere. They had been there all along, hidden by technology the aliens couldn't detect. Strategist Nam counted the ships on her screen. 70 human vessels now visible, Captain. More coming online every second. In the council chamber, the alien leaders were staring at their emergency screens in shock. Their ambush fleet was surrounded by human ships that had appeared like ghosts. This is impossible, Velnesh screamed. Where did they come from? Admiral Lee's image on the screen looked amused. We've been here for 3 days. Your stealth detection is about 200 years behind ours. Every alien ship in this system is now surrounded and outgunned. War leader Gorthak tried to sound threatening. You cannot defeat the combined fleets of the Coalition. We have ruled the galaxy for thousands of years. You've bullied weaker species for thousands of years, Admiral Lee corrected. There's a difference. You're about to learn what that difference is. On human ships throughout the star system, crews were dropping all pretense. Captain Yu Jin Song's destroyer Swift Strike had been disguised as a merchant vessel. Now its real weapons emerged from hidden compartments. Commander Jae-won Oh was commanding a ship that had looked like a science vessel. All missile tubes loaded, he reported to Admiral Lee. Railguns charged and ready. Major Kyung-hoon Han was aboard what the aliens thought was a passenger transport. Really, it was full of human marines in powered armor. Landing force ready, Admiral. Just give the word. Back in the council chamber, Dr. Yang was no longer acting scared. She stood up and faced the alien leaders with confidence. Did you really think humanity would come to this meeting unprepared? We've been studying you for decades. Ambassador Kim walked closer to the alien leaders' platforms. Every human colony you plan to attack is really a fortress. Every research station you thought was harmless is actually a weapons platform. Every merchant ship in human space can fight. Prime Node 7's computer brain was calculating rapidly. Impossible. Our intelligence shows humans as a primitive species with limited technology. Your intelligence is 50 years out of date, Kim replied. We let you see what we wanted you to see. Admiral Lee's voice filled the chamber. You see, we learned about you by watching what you did to other species. We saw how you destroyed the Kalari, the Thulon, the Mixari. We decided that would never happen to us. On the Harmony, Captain Park was getting tactical reports from across the system. Captain, Choi reported, Admiral Lee is broadcasting on all frequencies. Every alien ship in human space can hear this. Admiral Lee's message was being heard by thousands of alien ship captains who thought they were about to win an easy war. Attention Coalition forces, the Admiral said. You are completely surrounded. Your invasion fleets are outnumbered 3-1. You have exactly 10 minutes to withdraw from human space. War leader Gorthak tried to regain control. You cannot threaten us. We are the Coalition. We rule this galaxy. Not anymore, Admiral Lee said simply. On screens throughout the alien fleet, new images appeared. They showed human weapons that no alien had ever seen before. Railguns that could fire projectiles at incredible speeds. Missile systems that could track and destroy multiple targets. Fighters that could move in ways that seemed impossible. Engineer Kang was monitoring alien communications. Captain, their fleet commanders are asking for instructions. They don't know what to do. They're about to learn, Captain Park said. Admiral Lee's countdown reached 0. "Time's up," he announced. "All human ships, you are weapons free. Show them what we brought to this peace talk." The transformation was instant and terrible. Human ships that had been hiding throughout the system suddenly revealed their true nature. Merchant vessels became battleships. Science ships turned into carriers launching squadrons of fighters. Transport ships opened up to release clouds of missiles. In the council chamber, the alien leaders watched their fleet status boards with growing horror. Ships were reporting damage from weapons they couldn't even see. Their shields, designed to stop energy beams, were useless against solid projectiles moving at incredible speeds. "Impossible," Velnesh shrieked. "No species has ever defeated the Coalition." Ambassador Kim smiled that cold smile again. "No species has ever been ready for you before." "We were," Dr. Yang added. "We studied every battle you ever fought. We learned from every species you destroyed. We built our entire military to defeat exactly this kind of attack." On the tactical display, alien ships were disappearing at an alarming rate. Human weapons were cutting through Coalition fleets like they were made of paper. Admiral Lee's voice came over the communications again, but now he was speaking directly to alien fleet commanders. "Coalition vessels, this is your final warning. Withdraw immediately or be destroyed. We will not ask again." Some alien ships began to retreat. Others tried to fight back. The ones that fought back quickly discovered that human technology was far beyond anything they had faced before. Prime Node 7 made a desperate calculation. "This cannot be happening. The probability of a primitive species defeating us is less than 1%. "You made one critical error in your math," Kim said. "You assumed we were primitive. We're not. We're just very good at hiding what we really are." The Great Coalition fleet, pride of the galaxy for thousands of years, was being torn apart by ships they hadn't even known existed. The peace talks were over. The real war was just beginning. Fleet Admiral Dong Hyun Lim sat on the bridge of the human flagship Thunder of Earth, as space around him filled with the light of exploding alien ships. The Coalition had brought 1,500 vessels to conquer humanity. In the first hour of fighting, they had already lost 200. "Admiral," reported Captain Somi Ryu from her fighter squadron, "the alien fighters can't keep up with us. Their turning speed is too slow." Admiral Lim watched the tactical display as human fighters danced around alien ships like angry wasps. The aliens had built their fighters for straight-line speed and long-range energy weapons. Human fighters were smaller, faster, and used gravity manipulation drives that let them change direction instantly. Captain Yujin Song's destroyer Swift Strike was cutting through a line of alien cruisers like a knife through soft bread. "Admiral, their shields can't stop our railgun rounds. The tungsten cores are punching straight through." This was the key difference. The aliens had spent thousands of years fighting each other with energy weapons. Their shields were perfect for stopping lasers and plasma beams. But they had never faced solid projectiles moving at 1/10 the speed of light. Commander J-1O was commanding the battleship Iron Fist as it engaged 3 alien dreadnoughts at once. "Sir, their armor is designed wrong. It's thick against energy weapons, but thin against physical impact." Admiral Lim nodded. Human intelligence had been studying alien technology for 50 years. They knew exactly where every alien ship was weak. In space around the mining colony of New Seoul, Major Kyung-hoon Han was leading the first human ground assault. His Marines were attacking a Coalition command station that the aliens thought was safe behind their shields. "The alien personal weapons are useless against our armor," Han reported as his soldiers moved through the station. "Their energy pistols can't even scratch our suits." Human-powered armor was built to survive in space, underwater, and in radioactive environments. Alien hand weapons that were designed to kill other aliens couldn't even dent the human suits. Back at the peace talks location, Captain Park was watching the Harmony tear apart alien ships that had been surrounding them. "Status of the alien council ship?" she asked. Engineer Kang checked his screens. "Still intact, Captain. Ambassador Kim and Dr. Yang are still aboard." "Good. We want the alien leaders to see this." In the council chamber, High Arbitrator Velnesh was watching status reports from across the galaxy with growing panic. Half the Coalition fleet was already destroyed or retreating. The other half was scattered and confused. "How is this possible?" Velnesh demanded. "Humans are a young species. They just learned to travel between stars." Ambassador Kim was no longer acting like a scared diplomat. He stood straight and spoke with the voice of a military officer. We learned to travel between stars 50 years ago. We've been preparing for this war ever since. War leader Gorthak was trying to contact his fleet commanders, but most of them were dead. My ships? My beautiful war fleets? How are you destroying them so easily? Dr. Yang pulled out her scanner, no longer bothering to hide it. Your ships are designed to fight the same kind of war you've been fighting for centuries. Energy weapons, slow movements, predictable tactics. We built our military to fight a completely different kind of war. The truth was becoming clear to the alien leaders. Humanity hadn't stumbled into space exploration. They had been systematically preparing for this exact moment. Prime Node 7's computer brain was processing the battle data. Your weapons technology is at least 300 years more advanced than ours. This should not be possible for such a young species. Young doesn't mean stupid, Kim replied. We studied every battle you ever fought. We learned from every species you conquered. We built our entire civilization around the goal of defeating you. On the human flagship, Admiral Lim was receiving reports from across human space. Admiral, reported Commander Min-Ho Park from the defense station at Busan Colony. The alien invasion fleet just reached our outer system. They're in for a surprise. The aliens thought they were attacking helpless human colonies. Instead, they found fortress worlds bristling with weapons. Hidden missile batteries opened fire from asteroids. Defense platforms that had been disguised as communication satellites revealed their true nature. Captain Yun-Su, Kim was commanding the defense of New Incheon when 300 alien ships arrived expecting easy prey. Opening fire with orbital defense grid, she reported. The aliens are flying straight into our kill zone. The alien ships had been expecting to face primitive planetary defenses. Instead, they met coordinated fire from weapons platforms hidden throughout the system. Ships that had traveled for days to reach human space were destroyed in minutes. At the main battle, Fleet Admiral Lim was coordinating the largest space battle in galactic history. All ships begin second wave attack pattern. Target their command vessels. Human ships moved with precision that amazed even their own crews. Every captain knew exactly where to go and what to target. This wasn't just superior technology. It was superior planning and coordination. Commander Sung-Ho Bae was leading a squadron of human cruisers against the alien flagship when he noticed something important. Admiral, the alien ships aren't communicating with each other properly. They're all giving different orders. This was another critical difference. The coalition species had worked together for thousands of years, but they had never really trusted each other. In a crisis, they were falling back to old habits and competing instead of cooperating. Meanwhile, every human ship was connected to a single command network. Admiral Lim could coordinate 1,000 ships as easily as commanding his own vessel. Admiral, reported Captain Haijin Lee from her position near the alien rear guard. Their reserve fleets are breaking formation. Some ships are retreating, others are trying to advance. They're getting in each other's way. The great coalition war machine that had conquered 12 species was falling apart under pressure from an enemy they didn't understand. War leader Gorthak was screaming at his remaining ship captains through the communication system. Fight, fight, or I will eat you myself. But his captains were learning that fighting humans was very different from fighting other coalition species. Human ships appeared out of nowhere, struck with devastating force, and disappeared before the aliens could respond. High Arbitrator Velnesh tried to contact Coalition Command on the home worlds. We need reinforcements. Send the entire galactic fleet. The response was not encouraging. Coalition High Command was in chaos. Some leaders wanted to negotiate. Others wanted to retreat to defended positions. A few wanted to use forbidden weapons that might destroy entire star systems. Dr. Yang was recording everything for human intelligence. Your coalition is breaking apart, she told the alien leaders. You've never faced a real challenge before. You don't know how to handle defeat. Ambassador Kim received a message from Admiral Lim. The main alien fleet was completely scattered. Human forces were in control of 7 star systems that had been under coalition rule for centuries. I have an update for you, Kim told the alien leaders. Your invasion has failed. Your fleets are destroyed. Your empire is falling apart. Prime Node 7 made one last desperate calculation. We can still win. If we use quantum destruction weapons, if you use planet killer weapons, Kim interrupted, we will respond with planet killer weapons, except ours are better than yours. The alien leaders fell silent. They were beginning to understand that humanity had prepared for every possible scenario. Admiral Lim's voice came over the communication system one final time. "Coalition leaders, your war is over. Surrender now and we will discuss terms. Continue fighting and we will end your civilizations." In 6 hours, the greatest military alliance in galactic history had been completely defeated by a species they had underestimated. The galaxy was about to learn a new lesson. Never threaten humans unless you're prepared for total war. 6 months after the war ended, President Mi-young-ko stood before the new Galactic Assembly on Earth. The Great Hall was filled with representatives from dozens of species, but the seating arrangement had changed completely. The humans sat at the head table, while the former coalition leaders sat in the back rows like students in detention. "The galaxy has learned an important lesson," President Ko said to the assembled delegates. "Power without wisdom leads to destruction. Strength without mercy creates only enemies." In the audience, High Arbitrator Velnesh sat quietly, its crystal body dim and colorless. The proud Veltari Empire now controlled only 3 star systems instead of the hundreds they had ruled before. War leader Gorthak was barely alive, kept in a medical tank after human marines had captured him during the final battle. Prime Node 7 had been completely reprogrammed by human technicians who found its combat software surprisingly primitive. Admiral Jin-Ho Lee sat at the military advisors table, wearing the new uniform of Supreme Commander of Galactic Defense Forces. Every species in the galaxy now understood that arguing with Admiral Lee was a very bad idea. Dr. Yoon Jung-yang had become the head of the Interspecies Medical Research Council. She was working to help species that had been damaged by coalition experiments and slavery. Many alien races were discovering that humans were much better at healing than the coalition had ever been at ruling. Ambassador Kim now held the title of Chief Ethics Officer for the galaxy. His job was to make sure that no species would ever again be able to do what the coalition had done to so many others. Captain Park had been promoted to admiral and given command of the new galactic peacekeeping fleet. Her ships patrolled the space lanes, making sure that trade was fair and that strong species didn't abuse weak ones. The changes went far beyond just military control. Human technology was spreading throughout the galaxy, but humans were careful to share it in ways that helped rather than harmed. Engineer Kang was now running a program to teach alien species how to build better starships. "The old coalition ships were designed to intimidate and destroy," he explained to a class of alien students. "Human ships are designed to protect and explore." Commander Choi had established the new galactic communication network. For the first time in galactic history, every species could talk to every other species without the coalition controlling the messages. "No more secret invasions," Choi explained to the assembly. "No more surprise attacks. Everyone will know what everyone else is doing." The former coalition worlds were adapting to their new reality in different ways. Some species were grateful to be free from coalition control. Others were angry about losing their privileged positions. Strategist Nam was working with reformed alien governments to build new political systems. "Democracy is messy," she told former coalition nobles, "but it's better than tyranny." Major Han had been promoted to general and put in charge of training new planetary defense forces. His job was to make sure that every world could protect itself without needing to conquer other worlds. "A strong defense makes war unnecessary," he taught his students. "When everyone can defend themselves, no one needs to attack anyone else." The economic changes were just as dramatic as the political ones. Commander Song was now Admiral Song, in charge of galactic trade regulation. Under the old coalition, trade had been controlled by a few powerful species who kept most of the profits for themselves. "Free trade means everyone benefits," Admiral Song explained to merchant guilds. "When trade is fair, everyone gets richer." The former coalition species were learning that cooperation worked better than domination. Species that had been enemies for centuries were becoming trading partners and allies. But not everyone was happy with the changes. Some alien groups were plotting rebellion against human rule. They met in secret, planning ways to restore the old order. Admiral Lee knew about these groups, of course. Human intelligence networks were far better than anything the coalition had ever built. But Lee preferred to handle threats with wisdom rather than violence. "Let them plot," he told his security chiefs. "People need to learn for themselves that the old ways don't work anymore." When one group of Veltari nobles actually tried to start a rebellion, they discovered that their own people wouldn't support them. The common Veltari citizens had learned that life under human protection was much better than life under coalition rule. Dr. Yang had established medical centers on former coalition worlds where alien species could get treatment that had been forbidden under the old regime. Many aliens were healthier and lived longer under human care than they ever had under their own governments. The coalition kept medical knowledge secret to maintain control, Yang explained to her staff. We share knowledge because healthy people build better societies. The galaxy was becoming a more peaceful place, but humans remained ready for war. Fleet Admiral Lim continued to command the largest military force in galactic history, but now that force was used to protect rather than conquer. Peace is maintained by being stronger than anyone who might threaten peace, Lim explained to new military officers. Our ships are instruments of protection, not conquest. The transformation wasn't complete and it wasn't easy. Some species struggled to adapt to freedom after centuries of being controlled. Others had trouble learning to solve problems without violence. But progress was being made. Trade was increasing. Wars between species were becoming rare. Scientific advancement was accelerating as species shared knowledge. Instead of hoarding it, President Ko looked out over the assembly hall and saw something that had never existed before. A galaxy where different species worked together as equals. This is what we fought for, she said to Admiral Lee after the session ended. Not to rule the galaxy, but to free it. Admiral Lee nodded. The hard part is over. Now comes the harder part, keeping it free. As they spoke, new reports were coming in from the edge of the galaxy. Human exploration ships had detected signals from beyond the galactic rim. There were other galaxies out there, and some of them might have their own versions of the coalition. Fleet Admiral Lim received the reports with interest rather than concern. Well, he said to his staff, I suppose it's time to show the universe what humans can really do when we're properly motivated. The galaxy had learned not to underestimate humanity. Soon the universe might learn the same lesson. Humans had come in peace first, but they had brought warships just in case. It was a lesson that had served them well. In the depths of space, human exploration vessels continued their work, mapping new star systems and looking for new forms of life. But they traveled with escort ships just in case. Humans had learned that hoping for peace while preparing for war was the best way to ensure that peace actually happened. The galaxy was safer, freer, and more prosperous than it had ever been. And every species in it knew that this peace was protected by humans who were very good at war, but preferred not to fight unless they had to. That was perhaps the most human thing of all.